It is World Dietitian Day, and today, Oshun Sonia Olajmoke will be telling us who nutritionists and dietitians really are and why we need them in our lives. Welcome back to Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Okay, so now you were telling me that nutritionists and dietitians are not the same. Who would have known? But then again, I mean, your bio literally reads nutrition and dietitian, right? So please, can you break it down? Let us know, who is a dietitian and who is a nutritionist?
Okay. So I address myself as a registered dietitian nutritionist.
Okay.
Right. That means that I'm a nutritionist, but I'm also a dietitian.
All right.
So it's so good to know. I must point out that all dietitians are nutritionists, but not all nutritionists are dietitians.
Okay, so now help us define it. Let us know. Who is a nutritionist? Let's start with that.
So the title nutritionist should originally be used for graduates of nutrition and dietetics. That means that you're a graduate, you have 4-year degree course in nutrition and dietetics. But now many things are not regulated. Okay. So we have many people that will probably do a few courses
yes,
in nutrition
and then
say
themselves,
I'm a nutritionist.
I'm a nutritionist.
Right? So actually the title is meant for people who are graduates of nutrition and dietetics.
Okay.
Now for registered dietitians, it means that after that first degree in nutrition and dietetics, they moved ahead to have 1 year clinical experience, supervised 1 year clinical experience, and they write a national exam to become a registered dietitian. They register with a regulatory body in Nigeria. So dietitians all over the world have regulatory agencies in their countries, and they are registered with them. Then they have license, just like doctors, to practice.
To practice, yes. Amazing.
So every year you keep renewing your license to practice. Okay. So if you don't continue in education to maintain your license, you might not be able to practice for long. So you keep, you're a part of a body, you keep registering, you keep renewing your license every year to practice.
Amazing. So you went to school and studied nutrition and
dietetics, then have 1 year clinical experience, writes the national exam.
It's a professional something.
Yes, yes.
And it's amazing because now I know a lot of people who literally they read about fruit, read about vegetable. Okay, take this one, take this one. Okay, they create maybe like a diet plan for people. And from there, they are nutritionists or dietitian. I didn't know like there was literally so now tell me, so the study of nutritionist as we went to school to study, right? What was the course really about?
The course is about studying about food, all the basics, the science about food. Then you now learn about how to translate that scientific knowledge into practical dietary advice. Also, dietitians are the only health professionals qualified to treat disease with diet. That's what we call diet therapy.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So dietitians are the only ones that are qualified to treat disease with diet.
So there are people that
working alongside with doctors.
Working alongside with doctors. That actually makes a whole lot of sense because I know a lot of people who would rather go the natural routes to treat as opposed to going to a medical clinic. Yeah. I mean, at least you could try taking this for this. I know there are normal like home remedies for certain pains and aches and things like this. This is actually amazing.
Of course, people can browse that on Google and easily, get out some. And like I said, a lot of people can do a few courses in nutrition, probably from any international university, and probably 3-month course because they have passion for and then they can easily say, I'm a nutritionist. But professionally, this is what it means. It means that you have a degree in nutrition and dietetics. Okay. And if you want to be called a dietitian, you have to do 1 year clinical internship, then afterwards write the exam, be registered with that body, with that agency.
Oh, amazing.
The regulatory agency.
Okay, so for you, was that something you did? Did you go to school to study because you really were in love with it, or just something you just did and then later realized that, okay, I actually like what I'm doing here?
Oh, well, for Nigerians, most of us probably just get a course, and then by the time you're fully into the course, you'll be like, okay, maybe I can make something out of this. Okay. So for me, I was given nutrition and dietetics. I put in for biochemistry, actually. And in 200 level, something was happening, and a lecturer told us that we're going to be starting diet therapy next week. I said, what's diet therapy? You know, that was in 200 level. So I realized that diet therapy is that aspect of medicine that help you to treat disease with food. So that interests me. And fast forward to my IT days in 300 level, I did my IT in UCH. And I realized how diet is so important, in the treatment of patients, like diabetic patients, PCOS, cancer patients as well. So we have different departments that without nutrition, the patients would not recover. You know, speedily. True. And also without nutrition, there's no way you can ensure that the patient is not going to be back for readmission, right? So most of the time they refer patients to us. It was quite interesting to me, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Then a few months down the line, I lost my grandmother to diabetes. And that gave me a sense of purpose. Like, see, I'm just going to do this.
Do this and then
that's
amazing, amazing. So would you say in Nigeria now, in the medical field especially, that you guys are actually as accepted as you guys need to actually be? Would you say, okay, fine, doctors literally see the importance of your role and literally refer patients accordingly?
In government hospitals, in teaching hospitals, yes, they do see the role of dietitians. They refer patients very well in government hospitals, in teaching hospitals. But in private hospitals, no. As a matter of fact, some doctors will even go ahead and say, eat this, don't eat this, instead of just referring the patient. And then the patients get confused. They don't know, you know, doctors cannot really break it down for patients. And then most of the patients, they get clueless on how to manage. For instance, diabetes. You know, they are not able to really understand how to eat. Some doctors will even say, just take beans, you'll be okay. You know, I remember when, as far back as when my grandmother was alive, doctors used to prescribe beans for diabetic patients. They just said, don't eat anything, just eat beans and all protein food. Remove all carbs from your diet. You know, and my grandmother became frustrated and be like, see, it's something that will kill man, so let me go and die in my village. I was in school that time, so I really did not understand what was going on. And a few months down the line, she delved into herbal substances, substances, and so herbal use. And before you know it, she died. And till now, you know, 10 years after, doctors are still prescribing beans. Doctors are still prescribing unripe plantain, right? And I think the problem is not embracing the
use and the importance,
the multidisciplinary aspect of medicine, of
treating patients. True, because it's actually a part of it.
So it's so important that doctors refer patients. And it's also very important for me to point out that dietitians are not only work in hospitals, but they also work in private practice. Like I am working in private practice.
Very true.
And we're in collaboration with hospitals as well. Dietitians work with government organizations as community dietitians as well. For instance, if there's any organization focused on health, you know, dietitians.
That's actually where.
As community dietitians.
I mean, I would love to continue this conversation. It's actually very important to actually know this. Maybe next week we'll actually talk about this before we talk about the topic, because it's actually very interesting. We also even need to know how important you guys are, even to personal, like our personal lives, and having you guys on board. Thank you so much for being with us. We have to go on a quick break now, and when we come back, still so much more happening here on Wake Up Nigeria.